Welcome to my channel, my name is Valerio and today we're gonna review the Optimus Prime by Flame Toys and the Optimus Prime Jet Power Armor Steel from Flame Toys. The Optimus Prime that we're gonna review first is a reissue of a model that was already published a few years ago, I think around 2019, while the Optimus Prime Jet Power Armor is a power-up and expansion of this first action figure that has just been released. Now, for the one that never heard about Flame Toys and have some questions, these are official products, so they can use the name Transformer and call the product the product with proper names. However, they're not transforming action figures, so they are Transformers that do not transform. Said so of the first of the Optimus Prime, that we're gonna go really quickly about it because there are a ton of already awesome review about it. This is a reissue, so it is an updated version. On the original one, they change a few but important things, and I will go about it during the review. While on the Jet Power Armor, if you're only interested into that bit, I will recommend you that you listen the second part of the review because there are a few issues here and there. It might be important to hear about it before you try to assemble your own powered-up Optimus Prime. Disclaimer finish. So I bought this one on D4Toys. This is not a sponsor review. I bought them because I think they're super cool. And why do I specify that I buy it from D4Toys? Because if you buy it from the channel, there are some extra parts out of it. There is the power axe for the Optimus Prime, and there is a giant mega cannon for the Jet Power Armor. Now, are they indispensable? No, but they're really cool. So if you can, I will recommend them. If you cannot, it will not change dramatically your experience. There is a lot of stuff as we are. So, but buying from D4Toys, because they have some of the worst shipment rates in the whole of the industry, makes them ship them from them really expensive. Anyway, let's finish with the introduction and let's start with accessories. I will go extremely fast about it for one reason. There are a ton of them and there are a lot of reviews that already spoke about it. So this is the manual. Very basic, color inside, explain you how to move it without breaking it. This is the power axe. This is the exclusive from D4Toys, so if you buy from any other channel, you won't have it. Fundamentally, that's all there is about it. Is a giant axe, pretty big also for my hand. Then we have the special hands for the axe. This one I don't know if there are inside the basic version out of it, the one that you can buy from any other retailer. Display stand. This is as basic as it goes. In every single Flame Toys, it always looks the same. Couple of power sword. So I think they have some gimmick inside of it. I cannot remember it. Still, I recommend Bobby Skull face that goes pretty through with everything about this model. Now, tiny axes, very cute, super well detailed. Color in everything in this model is pretty much peerless. Everything is super precise. Well, this is iconic weapon, which looks pretty lame, but now we have a tiny gimmick that I will show you, in which it becomes less lame, actually pretty cool. It does extend, super detailed, super fun, light, not in metal, so it's not go weight over the articulation. Jetpack. So they did fix the jetpack flaps. They don't just flap down. And this was one of the problems with the first release of Optimus Prime by Flame Toys. And here there are a ton of expressive hands. However, in this version, there are not articulated hands. We're gonna find articulated hands inside the Jet Power Pack. So ton of accessory. If you think about it, they are inside of it. And if they were not inside the base version, they are inside the expansion. So everything that you can think about it. Other axe, very cool, extremely well done. I forgot to, the sword with a nice gimmick. I forgot to speak about the two extra faces. They are the same as the other release. And you can see this is a cute gimmick. And I just wanted to show it. So now that we are done with accessories, we will go to look into the, oh sorry, I forgot, this is the base from which you can put Excalibur, the sword down. Now let's take a look at our robot. So I will go really briefly on it. So this is 8 inches tall. It weighs around 1 pound and something, give it or take it, or 21 centimeters by 600 grams if you're listening this one in the UK. Anyhow, there are, and I will tell you immediately, there are a few different with the original version. So the paint is not the same. It is a tiny bit different. So I remember having also the original. This is a bit more resistant, and I can tell you this is quite a bit more resistant because I did abuse it in any possible way when I put the armor, and there has been no chipping as of now. And it is a tiny bit of a different shades of red. I wonder if it is because they weren't able to keep it in the same way, or because they wanted to put out just a more resistant paint, because you have to put the armor on. Now we're gonna go into articulation. And why we go articulation? Because so how much you can move, for one simple reason. One of the problem with the Optimus Prime in this release is that the joint on the legs were dropping. Like, there is no other way around. In a lot of copies, they weren't able to keep position, which is terrible in something that is so expensive. Now let's go there. This is one of the most articulated figure in commerce even today, so it does anything that you can think about it, it does it. And now a few years have passed since the original release, and there are things that have been done a bit better, but still, butterfly joints, double joints, ab crunch, very good ab crunch. So in comparison with the latest of Flame Toys, so without Rodimus, the one that I will review Jets next week, there is no ratchet joints, which is a bit of a shame. They could have updated, but you see now the leg stands, and also when you bend it forward and backward, I'm not putting my finger under it to keep it. Now the joints are super hard, you can play and give so much more satisfaction than before. Pay attention, if you buy this stuff used, below on the blue armor there is written the year of production. You want to check 2023 instead of 2019. So there is this tiny detail, I forgot to take a shot out of it. However, double joints, folding inside of the cabs, and obviously of the wheels. Articulation wise, this is still an amazing product. There has been some progress also on Flame Toys side, but negligible. Like other than the ratchet joint that I think was something that was supposed to arrive, this does exactly everything that you want to do. Plus the joints you can feel are harder, even based new versus new version, like opening from the box one and another with the old one, because you need to stand, you need to keep over him the power armor, which, don't be scared, is not as bad as it was with the stars with the Victorio. That was bad. Not this state, but you see now I'm playing with it and the joints don't fall down, way stable, and I did quite stress test it. So you can see also the flap of the jetpack, they don't move around. And now second part of the review, we're gonna start with what is the power armor, and there is so much stuff inside of it. But first, if you open the box and you don't see this one, this is the exclusive by D4 Toys. We're gonna look into it at the end of it. It is quite interesting. I will not show you piece by piece everything inside of it, but just the accessories. So these are the new posable hand by Optimus Prime. They are great. They are the new standard by Sentinel Flame Toys. Very expressive, great. They can keep kind of any position you can think of, and they also have some grip strength. You can also peg weapon inside of it. There is a tiny peg which you can insert the weapon, but I will speak about it later. Now we will start with the transformation, but better not the transformation, the combination, or the arm or the power up. So guys, I'm following here the instruction. However, as if you saw my review about Megazord, there are some problem with the manual instruction of a Megazord. Here is not exactly the same thing. It is more among, they suggest order starting with the feet and going up, which is not the best one to build. It actually makes it all very hard to plug the final part of the armor. And I would recommend you to follow a different order, which is, instead of starting with the feet as I'm doing, starting with the shoulder. And I will tell you why later. Anyway, if we follow the proper manual out of it, we will start with the feet. And if you guys are interested, write me down. I can do a quick video about how to attach it properly with the order that is not the manual. Anyway, first the feet, super easy to peg in, fantastic, stable. They're light, so they're not gonna destroy the joints, but they're not so light, and they will make you think, oh my god, this is just cheap plastic. No, super solid, incredible, well painted. As of now, you see on the feet, it doesn't lose that much articulation on the leg. You lose it if you don't want to hurt yourself. But for example, here in the manual, they tell you to attach this thing, first thing, these are extra guns to attach to the feet, but then becomes hard to keep the action figure in your hands to continue the power up. So I wonder, did they write the manual without trying before or finding a better way? Because once you have so much stuff in the feet, it becomes always harder to keep it by the leg. And then you not exactly well thought. Anyway, very easy to attach this stuff. But in the moment in which you have the feet is when you start to hurt your hands with pointy bits. Nothing dramatic, like you will not bleed or anything like that. But still, it is a really spiky, let's say over the top design. And let's say a manual that is not optimized, to put it in the simplest way possible, is not great. I highly recommend to the company, if anybody from them ever see this video, to check first the manuals. Have it checked to a third party. Okay, anyway, so sorry. Now we attach the armor for the legs. Those were the feet, and it becomes always harder to attach it still. I don't understand why start from the leg. I mean, I understand into an anime wise. Anyway, super easy. There are the peg. We extract the thing on the side of his leg, and then we attach these two bits, and you insert it. The paint is super solid. I put it on, I take it out, no paint chipping, which is great, because what you buy with the flame toys, yes, material articulation, is actually the painting, so much as the KO wasn't able to reproduce it. And anybody who has in their hands one and the other can tell you quite quickly which one is which. Painting. Super detailed, super nice. Anyway, after this tiny bit about the KO, we're gonna touch the leg inside of it. The armor on the side, as you can see, becomes harder for me to actually keep this thing in hand, because I don't know where to put my hands since everything is spiky. So then you adjust the armor, you put it properly, we have the legs up. Still not much weight added to the legs, which is great, so you know that the joints are gonna keep. The heavier part is the wings, but nothing traumatic. Okay, now I'm trying to stabilize the whole thing and trying to understand what goes after. And now they will put the knees. So this one, please guys, do they click? Like if somebody else of you have it, please let me know if they actually click into position. Because in my case, they absolutely do not. They're standing there, but if I move it a tiny bit they stay, but if like they're not really stable, it's the only not unstable things within the construction, which makes me think that maybe I didn't actually insert them correctly, which is very, very possible. Now you see I try to plug them inside so that I hear something, you know, a more stable kind of thing. If somebody of you has it already, please let me know below. If I have to put more pressure inside of it, obviously you're always afraid being so expensive. Anyway, let's continue. Now we pick up the arms. We have to insert the arms inside of it, and first you have to expand it, and once it's inside of it there is a peg. The peg needs to enter. I cannot show it on camera because I tried, didn't really work out. And now we compact the arms, and now the arms become this super sharp, spiky stuff. Still keeping some of the design element from Optimus Prime, the red behind the pipes. You see, you can open it, you extend it, you insert it. You have to insert it on the right angle. You see where there is the hole there, and you plug it inside. Very easy. Like this might look harder, but actually it's pretty well thought and it's stable once it's on. This one with the legs, they're all really stable. As of now, the only problem they give me issue were the knees, and how to freaking keep this thing in my hand when I'm actually attaching the armor, because you see everything is sharp and pointy. Now the manual tells you insert the chest, extremely easy. You can move the flaps on the top of it, and you just have to center it. They tell you not to push too much on, so to avoid to break the glass over Optimus' chest. It's pretty easy. It's really, you push and you plug it. However, still not the best way how to do it. First, you need to remove the backpack, and I should have removed it before. And I highly recommend that once you build it yourself, you start with the backpack and not with the front part. And actually, you should start with the shoulders. Because now we go into the most frustrating bit of the whole thing, the shoulders. So they tell you first to start with the shoulder pads and then with the under shoulder bit. I really don't know the name out of it. And this makes it ridiculously hard. First, it's really hard to keep it in your hand now. Everything is pointy, big, kind of uncomfortable. Second, it could have been done in such an easier way if done at the beginning. Okay, so this is the backpack. So there are plugs on the back that goes a couple of pieces like the original backpack into his back, and a couple of pieces do attach into the front armor. You see, you remove it, you touch the other one. However, since it plugs also in the front armor, it will be way easier to touch first the backpack, so first this side and then the front one. However, this is how the manual shows us, so it does become harder to actually insert it in this way, but I yet to do it off camera. Now, the really hard part, first remove the exhaust pipes. And this is already becomes harder because, you know, spikes everywhere. You're kind of afraid to break it. And to extract this one are easy, but then it tells you put the shoulder pads, actually open a flap on the top of the shoulder and insert this bit out of it. You see there are these tiny holes inside of it. It tells you to twist it so that you make a hole. Guys, some of this stuff looks harder than yet they are on the camera. Apply, not impossible. This of flipping that bit is kind of okay. You see, I flip them and put them. However, now they tell you put the shoulder pads over them and then put a piece behind them, that it becomes incredibly hard. So you have to align the hole with the flap that we just twisted, and it's gonna get in very solidly, guys. If you feel like if you break it falls down, you didn't attach it properly. Now, still, me complaining about if they did made you attach this one as one of the first thing with the under shoulder pads even earlier, this would have been so much easier. And I know why, because after I did it in that way, I took it apart and redo it. You see a part did fall down, nothing broke, it's just a tiny bit of piece that I had on the table, so don't worry about it, it's still what it is. So I did attach it, and then it tells you to attach this bit and to insert it inside the red flaps. And if it did give you more tolerance, now you put it in, it would have been possible. Like, this is incredibly hard. So I highly recommend the first thing that you attach are these two things, then the shoulder pads, then the backpack, then the chest, and then you can follow the instructions. So feet, legs, arms, mask. You see, now you see me not screaming because this is a voiceover, but trust me, I wasn't having a good time and everything was falling down because I didn't insert it properly. And so the situation was getting frustrating because I thought, oh my God, this is terrible. It doesn't stay together. I cannot put it out of it. And the problem was the manual. The problem was still the manual, because once you put it on properly, in the proper order, this becomes so much easier. So this becomes the belt. Now I attach it on the side, and then I will move the middle panel in front of him. I will not do it now because I still have to attach another bit, but at the end, after I will show you the full thing, you will see it. You see, mask. The mask is easy to insert, relatively speaking. I'm not sure I'm super sold on the mask. I might prefer the noggins of the usual Optimus Prime, because the mask cover quite a bit, but it is still cool, eh? Don't get me wrong. And now the wings. The wings are super cool, ultra detail, mechanical detail, a bunch of parts, a bunch of lights that we're gonna see later that attach on the back. And guys, I know this video is long, but I think it's a good idea if you look at it and don't skip it, because expensive toy, not so fun to break. Easy to fix, but not exactly correct. Okay, so now we move all the wings of the jetpack behind, and now we have finished to attach Jetfire on the back. Okay, you see the Decepticon log on the side. So I think this is inspired by the movie thing. Okay, anyway, ta-da! So this is finished. Now I will have to do cleanup on all the build, and we're gonna see it properly. And this is the weapon. I will speak about it at the end of the video, because this is just an exclusive, so I don't think many people are gonna be interested into it, especially because it's not great. But you see, you can attach the part that you remove from the leg on it, so that you don't have to put them back in the box, which I think is great. And here we have our Jet Power Optimus Prime, everything cleaned up. And what can I say? It is impressive, guys. It is impressive, and once it's properly built, it's also very, very solid in your hand. And it occupies way more space. I was commenting with a good friend of mine that this is larger than it is taller. Like, it is wide in all the best possible way. It gives you the impression, as a lot of flame toys, that this guy hit the gym a lot. And this table, all his joints are there. The weight is well distributed. It's not as Victory Saber again. This is a better thought process. This has been thought better. It's more in common with the Optimus Prime with the armor in terms of stability. It gains 1 inch in height, and in size it is fairly larger. I think that to the top of the wings it goes like 13 inches. Like, it gets really high. Not 13, yeah, maybe 12 inches. Now we're gonna see the lights, and unfortunately I got some of the battery that were already finished, like they were already expired inside of it, and I didn't have some extra, so I was only able to turn on 1 reactor. However, these are all the lights of the armor, not all the lights of Optimus Prime, and I think they're super cool. I don't like lights because they're quite a problem to turn on. I would prefer if they were activated by LED, but these are pretty cool. Now we're gonna do a quick comparison, and then we go for conclusion. Lego Dude, as usual, really tiny. Now we're gonna see Megazord Flame Toys. So Megazord Flame Toys is taller, but Optimus Prime is way wider. Magic Square Megatron, so Legend scale, pretty tiny. Hot Rod Flame Toys, smaller without the armor, way lighter as well. This guy now with armor on is 2 pounds and something. With our friend MP40, I can't remember, anyway, Bumblebee, this is the original by Takara. I think they scale pretty well, huh? And now, before we go in conclusion, this is their weapon, and it's been so fairly frustrating. So there are lights inside of it. I wasn't able to open the panel. The pegs doesn't insert inside the hand. No way you can do it without cutting a bit the plastic. And the extra exhaust that are supposed to move from the shoulder pads to that, they don't enter inside. Now I want to see Flame Toys that does me a video where they show how they can insert it, because I paid quite a bit of extra money for this toy. Looks cool, awesome, but the gimmicks don't work. Anyway, for conclusion. Okay, let's start with the pro and cons of both of them. Optimus Prime now is perfect, but it doesn't transform. Pro and cons, I just finished both of them. The power armor. So it looks awesome, but, and there is a big but, the manual is not perfect. It's not optimized. As I told you during the guide, during the video, follow the instruction that I give you is gonna make it a bit easier. Flame Toys need to pay attention to this stuff in this price range. Now, color, amazing. It still keeps some mobility out of it. It doesn't become a statue, it can still move. You lose a bit on the shoulder, obviously, but still, it can keep its pose, and you're not afraid it's gonna destroy the joints. However, a friend of mine tried on the old release of Optimus Prime, and he wasn't able to stand up with it. So, I don't know how much my friend played with it. I don't think much, because normally put it in one position and forget about it. But this might be a risk out of it. Maybe it's just his copy. However, this might be an issue for you, so hopefully it is not. Second thing, so I had a couple of parts where the plastic of the armor on the legs fell off, where the glue fell off, and so I had to glue it back. Nothing massive, something that you can fix exactly in 1 second. However, this price range, there shouldn't be a problem. I found it really annoying. It took me 1 second, nobody will ever know about it, because it was just glue where it gets too dry and detach, so not enough glue over it. And what else? Oh yeah, the most frustrating things of all is the weapon, the D4 Toys exclusive weapon, because he cannot keep it in his hand. Like, it just can't. That's all there is about it. He can keep it with the finger, and the articulated finger are amazing. However, I want it to peg, because there is too much stress on the finger if you just keep it through it, and he's able to keep it, you'll see in the picture, but you don't want it to be like this in such an expensive toy, because this overall is really, really expensive between one and another. So my hand, it is recommended, yes, because the design is amazing. You see, it is incredibly impressive. It takes a whole new dimension. However, there are a few cons, and I hope that Flame Toys continue to improve onto the manual side of things, where they explain how things should be built, and actually continue to implement ratchet joints, because this will help also enhance the playability. And from me is everything, guys. Let me know what you think about it, and subscribe. Bye.